Hi guys, welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel if you've been here before. We're going to continue on with the Ricky Gervais Show, Season 3, Episode 10, Society. Oh, love to hear Carl's views on society, because it doesn't seem like he cares for it too much. He does his job, everybody else should be doing theirs. We're going to jump right into it, but first, of course, I'm going to mention subscribing to the channel, liking the video, turning on your notifications, sharing the video with your buddies. I guess that was it. So let's watch.
For the past few years, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, and Carl Pilkington have been meeting regularly for a series of pointless conversations. This is one of them.
Testing. Is that all right?
Hello and welcome to the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
And the little round-headed buffoon that is Carl Pilkington.
All right.
In ancient Greece, every year 500 people would be selected from that Grecian society, and they would have to sit there that year and they would propose laws and everyone else would vote on them. Now if you're in that position, all right, you're called up, what rules and laws are you instigating?
You might go, right, I want an egalitarian society. I want freedom for people. I don't want slavery. I don't want any sort of oppression. Would that be high on your list?
Well, you could say, when I worked at Cordon Bleu, there was times when I thought being treated like a slave here.
You weren't though, because
yeah,
you were being paid and you were free. So.
What do you mean? I wasn't free. I was on from 9 till 6.
You had the choice to leave the job. Slaves didn't have the choice to leave.
I didn't have a choice.
Yeah, you did.
The only other choice was Tesco, and they'd already turned me down.
No, that's not. That wasn't
no choice.
That wasn't the lack of choice given to most
But the slaves who built the pyramids, that wasn't an option for them. It wasn't like they could go and, well, I could get a better gig on the Sphinx.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just saying.
No, you're not saying anything. You're saying absolute drivel again.
Here's a little Greek proverb for you. A society grows great when old men plant trees whose shade they know they shall never sit in.
What do you think of that?
Do you understand?
Yeah, just saying. You're planting a seed. They grow a tree, but trees take ages.
Yeah.
It takes a long time.
Yeah.
That old fella's not going to get any joy out of that.
Right.
But if he's lucky,
Yeah.
the fella next door might have done the same years ago. So it's all about sort of planting a seed, looking after each other.
That's great, actually. It's not. I don't think it's directly what it means.
It's almost the point.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, I think he means that future generations. But yeah, if the next door neighbour had done that, then yeah, that works as well.
But you seem to agree that that's a good point. Do you agree that seems a good point to you?
But I'm sort of guessing he enjoyed gardening anyway. Part of the enjoyment was in planting that seed.
we should.
It's the old metaphor problem again, isn't it?
I know, yeah.
It's not specifically about trees.
But as a metaphor, what he enjoyed is the fact that he's added to society and human life, and he's got a legacy and all that.
But by the same time, when I went to Ibiza, right, now there they have motorbikes, people flying around on them, people don't wear helmets. You might even get 3 people on a moped. I saw a farmer with a goat in a basket. They don't care. They're whizzing around at high speeds. A lot of deaths there.
Yeah.
And they'll have a lot of those areas where someone's come off, been killed. People put flowers there.
Yeah.
And because that happens a lot, it's a lovely green island. Now here, we're saying wear an helmet.
Well, you're saying
what?
that all the deaths make it nice because
It
there's
makes
flowers.
it lovely.
Because there's loads of flowers
So
everywhere.
with death comes beauty. So that's another metaphor. You can have that one.
That was one of the most
Now-
tortuous things I've ever... That was extraordinary.
But look at London.
That was extraordinary, Carl.
Right, Carl.
Well, look at London,
but
though.
there's
Let me
another
finish my point.
Let him finish his point. I'm
yeah.
intrigued.
Right, London, a councillor with his clipboard.
Ooh,
with a
Abbey
speed
Road.
bumper, I saw someone doing 35. Put some traffic lights there and a pedestrian crossing. Pelican crossing there as well. And a speed camera.
Right.
Horrible and grey.
Okay.
No flowers.
But you still see flowers left behind where people have died in terrible
They're
accidents.
not
You see
very
that
good
all the
ones.
time.
They're stuck to a lamppost with elastic band round them. They don't look nice.
He's knowing the quality of flowers. Yeah, but the point is
Wow.
this. The point is
Some
this.
15-year-old got run down and you're disappointed at the quality of the flowers.
Look at this, Suzanne. Fella lost his head here. Geraniums? Geraniums? Fella lost bloody head?
Well, that's so
We have to, we have to
say that,
encourage
though.
gun crime so that people will get shot in inner cities, and then we can put flowers up and beautify the area. Is that
No,
what
but
you're
if an
saying?
area's nicer to look in, nicer to be in, if it's nicer looking, you don't get people speeding around like lunatics. Because they go, I'm not in a rush, I'd quite like to slow down
This
here and
is
look
so
at the flowers.
complicated. So now what you're saying is because an area is grey and gloomy, people speed around to get out of it. In the course of doing that, they knock people down. But then flowers are put up, which then makes the area beautiful, thus stopping people driving around at speed so death no longer occurs.
Well, they keep us getting out of their cars to put down flowers.
Then they get knocked down.
Yeah.
By other people on their way to put some flowers down.
Just sometimes people have to die, don't they? There was a fella outside our house who had a lamppost. He had a helmet on, but his head come off.
You made me laugh at a man's head coming up because the way you said it.
But that's the thing.
He had a, oh God. There's a man who died in a house. He had a lamppost, he had a helmet on, but his head come off.
So you're saying that because in that one instance, the helmet did not save his life.
His head was in great condition. It's just not attached to his body. And that's what I'm saying to you. Sometimes people have to die. How far do you take all this stuff of safety gear and slowing down and wear bright clothes at night? And it's just too much.
Very important point, you see. Do you think someone should be made to wear a crash helmet? They're only hurting themselves.
Crash helmet. I don't think you should get fined for not wearing one.
Well, don't forget, we're not just protecting him. He could be a father with 2 kids. So you're going, oh, let him up there if he doesn't want to wear a crash helmet. Let him get brain damage. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying, we're over the top in this country.
No, but
when it comes
you're
to that
saying,
sort of
if you're
thing.
saying no, if he doesn't want to wear a crash helmet, let him not wear a crash helmet. He smacks his head in. He's a vegetable. He's like that, sitting at home like that. And yet the 2 little kids come to you. You're in charge, don't forget. We've put you in charge of society here. And they come to you, 2 little kids, they go, President Pilkington,
What?
why did you let my daddy not wear the crash helmet?
I didn't. We paid. We put leaflets through the door. We had adverts on the telly, sunshine.
Yeah, but why?
It's your dad's fault.
But why wasn't it compulsory? Because he wanted.
It's not the world we live in, Sonny.
Yeah, now I haven't got a daddy.
Has he got an helmet at all? Have you seen an helmet knocking about?
No, he's a vegetable now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't want to wear a crash helmet, but why didn't you make him wear a crash helmet? It wasn't just him, it was us. Why did you turn my daddy into a vegetable?
Where's your mum?
Mum left when he kept going on about not wearing a crash helmet.
We'll put you in a home. I just think, you see, this is the problem. Everyone's looking for someone to blame.
Yes, but this is interesting though because you were particularly callous to that little 4-year-old boy who seemed so sweet and adorable.
Yeah.
But why wasn't he giving this stick to his dad?
Well, his dad's dead. He's a vegetable.
He's dead.
He's good as dead to him.
His dad went within the law. It was not the law to wear a crash helmet anymore because you said, forget it, I don't want a nanny state. I don't want... If you wear a crash helmet or not. He wasn't a responsible parent. He hadn't thought it through. But this is your job. Some people aren't responsible. Society keeps them on track. This was you were in charge. You should have made him wear a crash helmet. He had 2 kids.
We've heard from one of the kids. What's the other one's attitude? Is he younger?
He's a bit younger.
Is he even younger still?
Yeah.
President Pilkington, my brother's crying now because you shouted at him. I wish you'd have made my daddy wear a crash helmet.
Why didn't you make your daddy wear a crash helmet?
Well, he wouldn't listen to me because I'm not in charge.
He didn't listen to me.
Yeah,
He seems like a bit of a numbnut, to be
no, he
honest.
did listen to you.
What did he
because
do
you
for
made
a
a new
living?
rule saying people don't have to
Right.
wear crash helmets.
Right. What?
And he listened to you.
Did he pop shoes on in the morning when he went out? Or did I need to be here to tell him to do that as well?
No, there's certain
Oh, so he
things
has got
do.
some common sense then.
Well, there's enough, yeah.
Oh, right, interesting. So he can be bothered with his trainers, but he can be bothered with helmet.
Now I haven't got a daddy.
Jesus. Why can't they just put a leaflet through saying, hello everyone, use your common sense?
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking.
because-
That's what I take
Because
if I
some
was
people don't
president.
have common sense.
Some
Everyone's
Some
got
people
common
are
sense.
fucking idiots.
Yeah,
Well, it's not my fault
That's
then.
why. That's
Not
why
my
there is a
fault.
government. If we let people, they'd be fucking idiots.
Well, it's what we've talked about here. Social responsibility. This is your approach. I wash my hands of the whole affair.
Yeah, I'd hope that the people who don't wear an helmet sort of they do themselves in, and that's cleared them off. That's one problem sorted.
So you think you're being Darwinian? You're thinking survival of the fittest. The idiots will but they don't, because they're not just the victims. The dead person isn't the victim. We've talked about it before. You know, people who smoke know that it's dangerous, but why is that still legal? And yet people know that and they still smoke. Fat people know that they're going to get out of breath and clammy, and yet they still eat more.
But because that's what I'm saying.
Why don't we stop fat people eating? If you got a smackhead and you really love him, you intervene, you grab him, you put in a cupboard, you go, you're not coming out. He goes mad for about a year, then he thanks you for it.
Yeah.
So lock fat people in a cupboard and just
can't
put
get
carrots
in.
under the door. What?
The thing is, there's got to be some responsibility. Now, if it's your own fat kid, stick him in your cupboard. But what I'm saying is, as a counsellor, I'm not spending taxpayers' money on cupboards to put the fat kid in.
Obviously, in China, you can only have one child, can't you? Is that something you feel we should bring in here?
Yeah, I think we've got to. I don't know about one kid. I just sort of concentrate on who can have a kid, as
Okay.
opposed to, you know, if someone's got a load of money and they're good at looking after kids, let Madonna have as many as she wants. But if it's someone who's
So social engineering you want to do
Yeah,
now?
but hold on though.
well, what
this
you
is-
said then, if you're bringing them into a poor family, what's the point? What good is that for anyone? It's not good for the people who've had the kids.
So
it's not good
who's
for the kid who can't
deciding
have anything.
who's allowed to have how many kids?
Yeah,
Are you
but
deciding?
I was brought into the poor family, wasn't I?
What?
I was brought into a poor family.
Yeah, no, I'm talking really poor.
So, third world.
No,
Well, poorer than that. Poorer than no money at all.
I just mean like the people who I've told you about on the estate sometimes, who had that one who chased cars and stuff. He wasn't happy. They didn't care if he was there or not. What's the point?
Right. So hang on. So let's imagine
So-
that Ricky and I are husband and wife. We've come in, right? What's your questions to us to establish whether we are allowed to have a couple of kids?
Hello. Thanks for
Me
coming.
and my husband, we can't have children.
Why not?
Because he's got no sperm at all.
Okay.
He had one sperm and it was ridiculous. It was awful. It just came out like a dead anchovy.
Right,
And
what's
you meant to have 300 billion tiny ones, and he had one big one. It was horrible. I had to pull it out. It was like a leech, and also I haven't got a vagina, so there's no place
Completely
to put
smooth down there, like an action man.
Yeah, it was just like, I don't know, but we love children, and we wondered if we could have a child.
What do you do for a living? What do you do? What's your work?
I'm a rapist.
Right,
And I dispose of the bodies.
right. Well, fill out this form.
I should have clarified. A rapist murderer.
Fill out the form.
He does it in the wrong order as well, I must
Yeah.
say. So, no, number of times I've disposed of the body, said I hadn't raped that one.
I just wondered what else you need to know about us. Because even though
That was our little joke, by the way.
Yeah,
he
well,
doesn't
of course
rape.
not, of course
and I
not.
don't-
I
no,
work in an office.
He works in an office in the town.
But yeah,
I'm a housewife. I
She's
think
a
that
housewife.
I'm making a little nest for when we have we adopt a little child.
we don't earn a great deal of money, but we're good parents.
We're
we
very
think.
good parents.
How, what's that based on? How have you
Well, we're
managed to
good
come up with-
people, you know. I mean, aside from a few naughty jokes.
We're God-fearing people. We believe that God is watching all of us, and we believe in the Old Testament.
And sometimes he tells us to kill and rape.
yeah, sometimes he does. Yeah,
We're joking again.
We're
of
joking
course.
again.
Or
We
just
don't.
a
We,
joke, just a
we
silly
don't
joke.
believe in God. We're a firm atheist and believe that our time on earth is all we have, and then when we die, we become worms' meat.
Right. Well, you filled out.
But
the
we've
form.
already painted the back bedroom. That's ready for the little child.
We've painted it black because we want our child to be a Satanist. Joking again.
Little joke
Joking
from
again.
us.
We want him to be an accountant,
Yeah.
gay accountant. And there's too much in society where people are pressured to be heterosexual, so we're going to try and make ours a homosexual.
Right. So you filled out the form.
Fill out the form.
Yeah, we'll put that in, get it processed.
Okay, but what kind of questions are you going to ask us?
None really.
No.
It's just my job.
You're happy. You're
It's my
happy
job
with us.
to pass the forms on.
We've passed the interview.
Because that's the sort of world we live in now.
Oh God!
You've obviously heard of the famous Rosa Parks incident, in which she was obliged to move on the bus from where she was sat to somewhere else, and she chose not to, and she was arrested for it. Became very much a sort of figurehead of the civil rights movement. Had you been travelling on that bus?
What did you do?
And am I far from where I'm getting off?
So once again, you can't just nip out at the next stop so you can wash your hands of the whole affair. No, you're on that bus. You've still got a number of stops So you've got to stay on that bus. So you've seen this bus driver demanding that she gets up, gives up that seat. Maybe she's given up that seat for you.
I'd probably go, it's all right, I'm standing, I'm all right.
What if Suzanne wasn't allowed to sit with you on buses? What if now a law came in that women were second-class citizens and she can't come with you? Wouldn't you go, no, fuck that, she's sitting with me?
I'd say we're only going around the block. We've been to the shopping centre. Be only 15 minutes. Can you take that bag with you? Because there's no one sat next to you down here. I'm a bit crammed in up here. There's more blokes on the bus. We'll see you in a minute.
Carl, let's put this to... I mean, obviously, this is too much for your head to... You're on a bus, right, and there's a few white people, and they're...
I'm the driver.
And they're being racist to a black kid.
Right, I'd go... If I'm driving, I'd go... Listen, lads, stop that, will you?
If you're going to be racist, can you get off at the next stop and do it there?
You know, we've all had a tough day. It's the end of the day. We just all want to go home. We've all been working. He's not in your way. He's sat in his own seat. Sit back. Calm down. Had enough.
Surely you want to be on the side of right.
I'm just doing my job here. I'm sat driving a bus. I'm driving a bus for 30 quid a week here. I'm getting a load of grief off some people at the end of the day.
But think bigger than the bus rule. It's not just a bus thing, all right? Just imagine that you're not a bus driver. All right?
No, but that's what we're talking about here.
But yes, but Ricky's trying to make a point. It's an analogy again. It's about you taking some kind of responsibility that could put you in harm's way. Yeah. That could mean that you've got to stand up to danger or to bullies or to aggression.
If someone's attacking Suzanne, she goes, Carl, help. You go, no, I could get her here.
Because I know the full story here. But this is what I'm saying about Rosie what's it? I'm just saying, she sat on the bus. How did it work? She got on the bus, she sat where she wanted.
No, I'll tell you how it worked. It was up to the driver's discretion to change where black people could sit depending on the number of white passengers that got on. So she sat in a seat, so more and more white passengers get on, so this bloke decides, well, no, actually, this is no longer the black section. There is no black section because there's enough white people, you've got to stand up. And she decided, no, I'm not going to get up. It's my right to be able to sit on this bus as a person, as a human being, not whether or black or white. And that was why she got arrested.
On a different bus, on a different day, it might not have turned out that way. That's what I'm saying. It might have been, you know, someone else who goes, get off, who's been in a right mood, might have been in the pub all afternoon. And she's there going, I'm not moving, and he's fed up, he's up to here with it.
Sorry, so she's pissed up now.
She's pissed up now.
No, the person sat next to her.
Yeah.
Might have even been a black bloke who's been working hard. And he's like, I don't want this. It's difficult, isn't it? If I was on there, I'd weigh her up. You know, is this woman doing this as like a good cause? Or is she just a trouble causer? Because she just seems like, you know, I'll do what I want. Now, that's fine. You'll always get people who do what they want, and they do change the little rules along the way. But I bet when she was doing it, it wasn't like a big stand-up, this is the day I'm going to do it. It's just happened to... She was fed up that day. She didn't want to get up. Lazy. She might just go around law breaking all the time, and she's remembered now because she'd made a change about bus seats. But when she got up that morning, did she say I'm going to do that, or has she been fly tipping before she got on the bus? This is what I'm saying. Is she just you know?
No, she's not a troublemaker. She's someone who already had a burgeoning interest in the civil rights. I mean, I really thought the Rosa Parks incident was pretty cut and dry. The fact that Carl's managed to find an ambiguity in it is extraordinary.
I love it.
Tell me something else about Rosie Parks.
Oh, for God's sake. I don't know what she's got to do to win you round, Carl. Honestly, I didn't realise it would be this difficult.
There was a bit of trouble in our yard the other day.
Right.
Between... a wasp and a cricket.
Now, the thing is there any point to this at all, or are you just going to tell us you saw...
Are you going to extrapolate some analogy from this?
I think so.
Okay, well, let's see. So there's a wasp.
Yeah, well, so look at the whole scenario.
As you said, sorry, just to clarify, as you said, it was kicking off.
Right, okay. Scenario.
So you're looking out of your window.
No, I'm in the kitchen by the sink.
Yeah.
I'm washing up the few plates.
Right.
The kitchen door's open.
Right.
Suzanne says, oh my God, look at that.
What?
There's a wasp and a cricket having a wrestle. I've never seen it before.
Right.
Wait! Are you sure this wasn't Mexican television and it actually was a sporting event?
Yeah.
So they're there wrestling, And I was like, well, stop them then. So
Whoa. You don't interfere with fucking Rosa Parks. Why are you interfering with a wasp in a cricket?
Because one, I didn't even know they didn't get on, to be honest. Because they were sort of wrestling. I said, and my hands were wet, so I couldn't do anything. I always overdo it with the fairy liquid.
Yeah, sure.
So she's there. I say, separate them. Now, so she uses a tea towel, flicks them.
Flick. Clever. Good thinking.
The wasp goes its own way. The cricket's sort of jumping about a bit.
But who was fighting who?
So I'm sort of saying that is really weird, because wasps are changing quicker than anything else that I keep my eye on.
Okay, well, that's just your theory, and it's not based on anything.
Well, I told you a couple of years back I saw one eating chicken. They shouldn't be doing it. So anyway, so now they're causing trouble with a cricket.
Whoa, how do you know it was the wasp fault? This is prejudice. Why do you think it was the wasp fault? What if the cricket would have started it? What if the cricket's got a society to go, we hate wasps, we hate their stripes. We hate them. If they come here, fight them. If everyone comes down here, fight them. How do you know it wasn't the cricket that started that?
Well, I suppose at that time I didn't, but since...
Oh,
I don't
subsequent
know.
information's
Oh,
come
okay,
through.
sorry.
Okay,
So anyway,
Like Columbo, isn't it? We saw the...
yeah.
So I saw all that, we broke it up, the cricket was sort of shaking a bit.
Definitely not! Definitely not!
It was shaking a little bit.
Yeah.
So I sort of prodded it, put a little leaf over it because it was a hot day. Thought I'd put a leaf there so it doesn't get overheated.
I love
I'll
this.
keep an eye
Like
on
it's
it.
done the marathon. It's got a little. It's got Mars on the leaf, written
So-
on the leaf, and now it's just walking over with a little medal.
So Suzanne, I'd leave it for a bit.
Leave
Get
it.
on.
What did
About
you say?
half an hour, about left it for half an hour.
What did Suzanne want to do? She wanted to interfere, did she? What did she want to do? Just sort of like.
No, she just sort of said, leave it, stop messing with it. It's probably a little bit knocked out, a little bit stunned.
Sure, let's
Right.
get on with our lives, she said. Yeah.
So I put the leaf on it. We go off, and half an hour later, I get back in. I said, I'm going to go and see the
Where'd you
cricket.
go? Where did you go?
Just for a walk. So I've been out, back in, have a look. Cricket's still there. Noticed one of its legs gone.
Oh.
Don't know if the wasp did that or the tea towel flick. Well,
Right.
this is when I got the computer out,
Right.
had a look. What happened is the wasp apparently does this a lot, and it stings them in the head.
Right, not this particularly. If there wasn't like a little profile of this particular wasp. on a kind of
It's just
police website.
an incident that
Just
happens a
generally
lot
happens within
between
wasp community.
wasps and crickets.
Right.
So it stung it in the head, and what happens is it's that whole thing that we talked about before, where it lays an egg.
Right.
So I was sort of having a look, seeing if I could see any sort of holes in its head, and it just kept sort of moving its one leg, like, oh, I can't handle this.
We've got one big leg.
One big leg at the back now. It's normally got two that it uses to jump.
So you were worried that crickets aren't aware of the dangers of wasps?
I just had a look online and saw that, it's a popular thing that happens. It's sort of like a bit of a mugging. It said you can leave them for about half an hour. They normally come round and they don't know they've had an egg put in their head. But
There's no way it said leave them for half an hour and they come round, they don't have an egg. But there's no way it said
But
that.
he said they're normally stunned for about half hour.
Have you had an egg put in your head?
Like an ostrich egg, by the look of it. It's coming out the top.
So anyway, I picked it up, I placed it under a little tree. I said it's in the shade again. No wasps can see it there. Let's just leave it.
But you've just left that cricket to now die in agony when that maggot goes round his head and comes out a wasp and leaves the carcass.
Well, this is when Suzanne came up and said it wasn't moving. I sorted it.
You sorted it.
Just sorted it.
What did
you
you
wanna
do?
say
What
anything
did
else?
you mean?
Well, I said, what do you mean you sorted it? She said,
Read
it's
between
best
the
that I
lines.
don't tell you.
Right, sorry.
I've done. She said she sorted it.
Wait. Do you think that we're in the mafia and we're being wiretapped? Say what happened.
No, well, she just said she sorted it. And I said, what, sorted what? Because I'd forgotten about it at that point. I was painting. And she
Right.
said the cricket.
Right, what do you think she meant by sorted it?
Well, by the look on her face, the way she said it, I've known her for long enough, so I know that she meant it's not good news.
Yeah, so what happened?
So from that, I took for granted she means
Say it.
I've stopped it being, it's no longer in misery.
So what do you mean?
What?
What did she do?
She crushed its head with a stone,
She got a tiny head-shaped stone and
squashed it, because that's where all the action is, isn't it? So she said it was too cruel watching it sort of shaking about with its one leg and stuff. You had to kill it.
I imagine I had this vision that one day
a giant
Suzanne
wasp.
just having to say to his parents, I'm sorting it.
Okay, so that was the Ricky Gervais Show, Season 3, Episode 10, Society. It's something you notice about Carl, that to him, anything that is outside his purview, anything that it is outside his little radius is not something he wants to know about. Not something he cares about. It's not something he wants to deal with. It's not his problem. When you ask him about these things, or he's talking about these things, he doesn't have all the references because he never really paid attention to those things because they weren't his problem. So he tries to fill in the blanks that he doesn't really know with stuff that he knows. Anyway, it was pretty funny. So thanks for watching. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications, and share the video. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.